Oh, and we did go grocery shopping. I don't know that we'll make it to month 2. If you are questioning if you are prepared, if you are stocked up, do this challenge. Hey friends, and welcome back. If you are new around here, I am glad to have you. My name is Megan. My husband and our 2-year-old son and I live on an off-grid property in South Carolina. We are building our off-grid homestead from the ground up, and currently we live in our RV. So we are participating in the Three Rivers Challenge. If you know anything about RV, you know we don't have a whole lot of storage space, but somehow I have cram-packed our RV. Every nook and cranny is full of food. A lot of it is store-bought food. We didn't have the counter space, and I don't have a pressure canner to really put up our own stuff, so I do have some stuff that I water bath over the year, but we've actually eaten through most of that. So a lot of what we're working through right now is canned food, and I have a lot of it. So we're working through our stores, trying to get ourselves ready. I wouldn't really call us preppers, but we do have a prepper mentality in the fact that as a mama, I always want to be prepared for the future. I never want there to be a day where I have to wonder if I'm gonna feed my child or not. But in my mama worry, I overstocked us on food just a little bit, or at least I thought I did. So the Three Rivers Challenge to me was about finding those holes in our preparedness. What are we using that I buy at the grocery store every week that I really need to be buying in bulk and stocking up on? What am I buying too much of that we actually don't use that much, but I'm just putting it up because that's what people say you should put it up, like pasta. We really don't eat that much pasta, but I have too much of it because that's like the #1 thing people tell you to prep. To get pasta, it stores forever, it's good forever. We really just don't eat that much of it, and we prefer homemade pasta. So that's what this challenge is for me. So enough rambling. If you are here to find out how the Three Rivers Challenge is going for us, welcome. Let's get into it. If you've seen my first video where we're talking about the pantry chat, then you know my meal plan that was for this past week. If you did not see that video, I will link it down below so that you can go check it out. It's going to give you different things about how my family eats, how I meal prep, and why I meal prep the way I do. So if you want to really look at that, then you need to go back and watch that first video. But I do want to say that we stuck to our meal plan. Like, it was awesome. We did really, really good. So last Sunday we had Frito pie. Monday we had the chicken noodle soup that I made. Tuesday we didn't smoke the ham because we just didn't think about it until later on in the day. If you're gonna smoke something, it takes all day. So I threw the ham in my Instant Pot, which turned out fantastic, by the way. We smoked the ham on Tuesday. I had some rolls that I had picked up previously at an after Christmas sale at Aldi's for like 80 cents for a pack of rolls. So I made those, some vegetables and mashed potatoes on Tuesday. So good. Then on Wednesday we did chicken breast with a side of rice and vegetables. Thursday we had the leftover ham, and I just had leftover mashed potatoes, and I just made a new vegetable side to go with it. Friday we took that ham bone and we made beans with it, but I originally had planned to do like red beans and rice, and instead I did a 5-bean soup because I had some vegetables that were fresh vegetables in my fridge. They were getting a little questionable and I needed to use them up. So I chopped up all of my green bell peppers, froze what I wasn't going to use for this meal, and threw some of the green bell peppers into this. Also had some carrots that I went ahead and peeled and diced up and threw into the soup as well, with some onions and garlic, 5 different beans, and a ham bone with it. And when I cut the ham down, I cut pretty close to the bone, but I always leave ham on there. And so that's what I throw in there. And then when it's done cooking, I shred whatever ham is left off of the bone. And then you end up with a ton of ham in your soup. It really doesn't take that much when it's mixed in with a soup, especially a bean soup. Proteins go a long way. So if you're trying to stretch your proteins out, throw them in a soup, shred them up, grind them up, ground them up, whatever, and they will go a whole lot farther, I promise. So we had that Friday, and then last night was Saturday night, and we had bean soup leftover. I took the leftover rice from the chicken, veg, and rice night, and I put it in the bowl, and I put the hot bean soup over top of it, and we had that. And I made some fresh bread in here that we ate with the soup as well. Oh, and we did go grocery shopping, because if you haven't watched that first video, we do not have our chickens yet. They're coming in February, and we do not have a dairy animal on our homestead. So we don't have eggs and dairy products. So I gave my family $25 a week that we can spend on eggs and dairy, which I thought would be plenty. I know my child eats a whole lot of cheese because he's 2 and he loves cheese. But we went to the grocery store and we got 2 gallons of milk, a 2-pack of butter, you know, the 4 sticks, so we got a 2-pack of that. 2 gallons of milk, butter, a half a gallon of half and half, because that's what we drink in our coffee, and string cheese. And I spent $24.60. I did not go over budget because my budget was $25, but I spent $24.60, and that just blew me away. We didn't even get that much stuff. What? We stayed under budget and we stuck to our meal plan, so I'm super proud of us. The problem I'm noticing is I don't know that we'll make it to month 2. We may have to do a modified version, so stick around to find out how we survive month 2 or what we end up doing, because I don't think I have enough flours and sugar or coffee stored up to get us through a second month. I've always, in my mind, I've always got extra things of flour and sugar. So when I use one and then I've only got 1 pack left, I open it and I go to the store and I get another one to replace it. So I always have one in reserve. Well, I knew this pantry challenge was coming up, so I bought like 2 in reserve. And I'm like, I don't go through that much flour and sugar, not really. Boy, was I wrong. This pantry challenge really can show you what you go through and what you use up. And when you're not buying processed breads and stuff at the store and you're making your own, really what you go through and what you need to stock up on. Like, mind blown how much flour I have went through making homemade breads. Oh my goodness. So I really don't know what we're going to do for month 2. Just be prepared for that. I may have to modify it and allow for a bulk shopping trip for sugar, coffee, flour, oatmeal, and grits, because we use a lot of all of that throughout our normal life, and we are only on week 2, and I'm already thinking, are we gonna make it to the end of even this month, much less next month? So this challenge really has taught me what we go through and where my holes are in my stashes and what I need to stock up more on. And I love that about this challenge. I love getting a real world look at what I am missing on and what I'm doing really good on. So if you are questioning if you are prepared, if you are stocked up, do this challenge. Do this pantry challenge. Keep track of everything you're using, when you run out of something, how much more you think you need of it, and then stock up on that. It has been really mind-altering for me, because when you're buying things every week at the grocery store, you don't necessarily think of it, you know, when you're bulk shopping. Like, I pick up a thing of flour when I go past it in the aisle if I know I need flour. Like, it doesn't even go on my grocery shopping list. It's not something I grocery shop for. It's just, oh yeah, hey, we're getting low on flour, let's throw it in the buggy. So it never clicked in my brain, really, I guess, how much flour I go through. But now I know. All that rambling to say, pantry challenge has really been helpful for me. When I went to grab down a bag of flour, there were like 4 pounds of spaghetti noodles back there. We don't eat that much spaghetti. My husband is not a fan of spaghetti. I think I found them on clearance, and they were like 75 cents for a 2-pound box or something. And I picked up several of them. We have went through several of them, but I guess these 2 got shoved to the back, and I didn't think anything else about it. So tonight for dinner, we're having spaghetti. And I will make a big batch of this so we have leftovers for another night. If you're new around here and you did not see my first video, we live on leftovers. I make double batches of just about everything, and then we have leftovers throughout the week as well. I've got fresh bread rising right now inside on my stove, and then we're gonna make spaghetti tonight with homemade fresh garlic bread. Tomorrow night we are going to have one of our absolute favorite meals, and that is loaded potato soup. I have a video on how I make this. I did it for a $10 dinner challenge, and it is literally freaking delicious, like so good. And I think I used all store-bought ingredients for that video so that I could keep track of what it cost me. I think it was like $7 for a 6-quart Dutch oven full of potato soup. It's not expensive, it's delicious. It's got potatoes and cream cheese and shredded cheese and bacon in it, and it goes so good with some crusty, fresh, homemade bread. My husband eats it with crackers, but I'm a bread lover, so I love to dip some crusty homemade bread in it, and it is creamy and thick and just amazing. So I will link my potato soup video down below, but that's what we're gonna have tomorrow night, and we'll have potato soup the next night as well, because normally I split my leftovers up where I have one, a meal one night, and then we skip a night or two, and then we'll have the leftovers. But with potato soup, it doesn't last in my house that long. Like, I can't separate it by nights because it will be all gone. If I don't put it for the next night's dinner, it will be eaten for like breakfast or something. Like, I'm not even kidding. It is. And the culprit to that may be me, because it is literally one of my favorite dinners. When I was pregnant with Declan and I had severe morning sickness, like, y'all, I was sick for 9 months. If anybody has had HG, you know what I'm talking about. I couldn't hold anything down, but potato soup, for some reason, it set well on my stomach, and so I ate a lot of it throughout my pregnancy, so my child is like, loves it too. But anyways, enough of my love affair with potato soup. We are going to have that Monday night and Tuesday night. Wednesday night we will have the spaghetti leftovers. Then Thursday I will do a chicken breast and 2 canned veggies for sides. We have a lot of canned veggies, and I have to figure out how to use them all up. Friday we're going to have pizza. And then on Saturday, we will either have leftovers if we had something that had way too much, like probably spaghetti. Or we can do the tuna and couscous if we eat all the spaghetti and we don't have enough for Saturday night. Tuna and couscous is a quick throw-in. Oh, you're going to have to ignore the meat rabbit notes. We had to keep track of when we breed our rabbits. So, for those who've seen it on my first video, we did successfully get them bred on the 4th, on Tuesday. We actually have a video on how we did that, but both of them are now bred. One got 3 fall-offs, the other one got 6 total. So we should expect lots of babies coming up in a month. And yes, they are meat rabbits. We do eat them. That'll probably be this week. We have 1 rabbit left in our freezer, and so I kind of am holding it off for like a special occasion. Sunday is spaghetti. Monday is potato soup. Tuesday is potato soup leftovers. Wednesday is spaghetti leftovers. Thursday is a chicken breast and 2 veg dinner. Friday, we're having pizza Friday. We'll probably do cheese, or if we have some kind of breakfast sausage or Italian sausage, I'll cook it up, throw it on top with some green bell peppers. But Kenneth prefers just cheese, and Declan eats whatever. And then on Saturday, we will have leftovers or tuna and couscous. So tuna and couscous. Basically what you do is you pour your dry couscous in your bowl. You open your can or packet or whatever of your fish, and you put that on top. And if you do not have flavored couscous or flavored tuna, go ahead and add some flavorings in here. We love Parmesan cheese, Italian seasoning, a little bit of paprika. You can do, if you want a little kick, you can throw in a few crushed red pepper flakes or whatever you like. Go ahead and throw that in. Do 2 tablespoons of butter on top. And then however much water you need to make your couscous, because your packet will tell you how much water you need, pour that in. But it needs to be like boiling water. So boil this water, pour that on top of this whole mixture, and cover it. If it's a bowl that does not have a lid, just put a plate on it, something to trap that steam, and let it set for 5 minutes. While that sets, I usually cook up a quick vegetable on the stovetop. I mean, that takes less than 10 minutes to cook up a vegetable and some butter, salt, pepper, little garlic, onion, whatever. Just do a quick vegetable on the stovetop while that couscous mixture sets. After 5 minutes, you can let it go as long as 10 until your vegetable's done. It ain't gonna hurt it. Then you just remove your lid, fluff it with a fork, and it is good to go. I like to top mine with Parmesan cheese. I love that little extra saltiness, cheesiness it gives to it. Kenneth and Declan like theirs plain. And you've got your grain, you've got your protein, your meat form, and your vegetable that you cooked on your stovetop. A complete meal, less than 10 minutes, super easy. This is what our go-to like camping, hiking, backpacking meal is: tuna and couscous. Because all you need is a few dry ingredients and some water and a heat source, and you can literally mix it all up. That's it. That is my go-to 10-minute meal. If we eat all our leftovers, I will make it for y'all on next week's video so y'all can see how it is. I'm telling you, it's life-changing, super easy. Always keep it on hand.